This video is brought to you by Ageless Geeks.
Cowabunga dudes and dudettes, this is Anthony, aka Batbomb82, and today I'll be doing a review of the Mezco 112 Collective Darkseid. Now as you can see, he comes in the tin style packaging, similar to what we see with all the previous exclusive figures. This is done in a blue and black motif, with Darkseid's name at the top and the Omega symbol at the center. Turning the tin around, we can see multiple images of the figure with his different interchangeable parts and accessories. So with the packaging out of the way, let's crack this figure open and see what we have inside. And here is Darkseid out of his packaging. And man, this is one beefy and impressive action figure from Mezco. I absolutely love this guy. His detail, his quality of materials used to build him, his interchangeable parts and accessories are just so well done. Now I know he carries a high price point, and that's up to you to decide if he's worth it or not, but I'm telling you right now, he is an amazing action figure. You can really feel how sturdy and how good quality this guy really is. But before we take a closer look at the figure, let's take a look at the accessories. So Darkseid does come with a good amount of accessories. Starting off, he comes with 4 interchangeable faceplates, a mother box, and 5 interchangeable hands. And lastly, he also comes with a cloth cape with metal shoulder pads, and a circular base stand with the Omega symbol printed atop. He also comes with a clear articulated arm that articulates at 4 points with the clip. So with the accessories out of the way, let's take a look at Darkseid. Alright guys, now let's take a closer look at Darkseid, the Lord of Apocalypse. Now, I think this is one a lot of us have been anticipating just from seeing promo pictures and whatnot. He is the second larger scale figure that we've received in this line, and one of the very few bad guys that we actually get in the entire line too. And damn, we got Darkseid, one of the biggest, baddest bad guys there is in all of comic books and whatnot. And honestly, I freaking love this guy. Oh my god, he is just so impressive and just so bulky and massive. He is a little shorter than the Hulk figure, which in my opinion makes sense and whatnot. I do like that a bit, but I just love the look of him so much. His head just looks fantastic. I love all the trim right here, all the silver trim around his helmet and whatnot. You can even see the sculpted and lining in the neck. All that looks really cool. All this collar piece and whatnot is just very well done. The collar piece, the shoulder pads right here, his entire belt, and I believe his calves and feet, I believe those are all die-cast metal, which is insane. It really plays into his price point and whatnot. And I know some people complain like these things don't need to be in certain types of materials that would raise the price point. I get that. I totally see where that can be a thing too. But this really is one of those things where you can feel the quality as soon as you hold a figure like this. So it's really up to you if you really want to pay that type of price and whatnot. But the belt itself looks great with all these details in there. I love his gloves and his gauntlets and whatnot. I think those look awesome. I love all the detail in all those, like in the knuckles. Let's get my camera to focus here a little bit. There we go. We can see that a little better and whatnot. Even in the palm, just looks great, man. I love this so good. One thing I will note, and it's not a knock on the figure itself. It's kind of one of those things where I wish they did this. I wish we got the killing glove with this figure. If you guys don't know what the killing glove is, it's kind of like the Infinity Gauntlet with Thanos and whatnot, something similar to that. But I really, really wish we had got the Killing Glove as an extra accessory. Would have been perfect for this guy, and in my opinion would have boosted him even more, especially with his price point and whatnot. But the tunic looks great. I love the soft goods tunic here. The design of the pattern looks amazing. It's just real nice, almost pleather like material. Just came out so good. His boots are very freaking cool. All the different paint apps with the different blues and the silvers and whatnot. There's this dry brush in there of silvers to make him look a little more beat up and whatnot. Even the bottom of the feet are really nicely sculpted. The back of the calves look really cool. You can kind of see how they almost have that Omega symbol in the back of the calf right there. I love his skin, the gray skin with that wash all throughout the body. Those cracks are just very deeply sculpted in there. All just look really, really impressive. I love that a ton. Just one beautiful, badass looking figure, man. And I'm going to say that a lot because he really is a badass. Alright, so I do want to take a look at his accessories. So we do got the circular base stand that we get with all Mezco figures. I love this. It's all in blue with that Omega symbol right there. Works really nice. I like that a ton. We also do get the articulated arm here that we get with all the figures. I don't know how well this is going to be used for this guy. He's just way too big for this. It would have been nice if we got a more deluxe clip, you know, especially for him and the characters like the Hulk figure that we just recently got. So this is almost pointless for that guy. You could do some things and whatnot, but yeah, we could serve greatly with a bigger deluxe arm like so. We also do get this cape, which I freaking love. This cape is so badass. Now, he seldomly wears the cape in the books, but I think it's really cool that Mezco gave it to us. We got this nice, thick material that's honestly thicker than some of the t-shirts I wear, which I love. This is really, really nice. Got that blue lining on there, just looks really, really cool. These shoulder pads right here, like that, are actually die-cast metal, which is really nice. You can see that even there's some like dry brush or airbrushing in there to make them a little more dirty and more scuffed up and whatnot. All just looks really, really cool. I love the inlining in that. Just looks really, really cool. So how this works, this really just slides on over his shoulders like so. Let me get that camera to focus right there, like that. And then you can bring these over his arms and whatnot. And they kind of just rest there. They kind of just form to his shoulders like perfectly and whatnot. They don't, I don't think, they don't hold on by magnets or anything like that. They don't actually clip on. They more so just rest on there, but they do stay on there, and it just looks really, really cool. You'll see some pictures at the end rocking that cape, which I think is dope. I love the cape, and honestly, I'm probably going to display him with that cape because he just looks so much more regal and intimidating with that thing on. So badass. All right, so he also comes with interchangeable faceplates. So we do get the standard faceplate right here. That's the one that can come packaged in the box, just kind of looking stoic and evil and whatnot. But what's really cool is this figure also comes with an LED feature. So how that works is you can actually pop the head off right here, and take the faceplate off, and we can see how the faceplate is actually held on by a little magnet right there. Now that behind that magnet, you take a little screwdriver. What I did, just take that off right there, pop on the two little button cell batteries that this thing comes with. We could pop on the little switch right in here, turn that on, and we can see how those lights work. We pop the faceplate back on, again, it holds on by that magnet, and there you go. So if we turn off some lights here, we can see how that head sculpt works with the light shining through very brightly through the little eyes like so. And dude, that's dope, man. I freaking love that. That's awesome. They really are killing it with stuff like that. And again, that's one of those things that kind of push this guy a little high up there in price. But for me, in my opinion, I think it's totally worth it. We also get this smiling faceplate, which looks perfect for him. I love that, just that smile of confidence, like he can wreck you. He he's just this overlord of destruction and whatnot. I just think that's a really cool faceplate. I think that works out great. We also have this like battle damage one. We can see his face is all cracked, like Superman just rocked him really hard and actually cracked his stone-like skin. That just looks awesome with the grating teeth. That just looks great, man. Oh, I love it. And if we turn the LEDs on with this one, boom, you can see how that just shines through all those cracks. I think that looks gnarly. That is just so awesome. Oh my god, that's just one of those things that's really pushing this figure over the top for me. Then we also do get another faceplate with his Zeta Beams eye blast, which is really cool. I love the sculpt of that. Those are attached to the actual faceplate themselves, and you cannot unplug those. And I'm sure you probably could if you really tried to, but they're not meant to be removed. And if you turn the LEDs on like that, you can see how those look. Now, the LEDs aren't fully bright enough to shine through the entire Zeta Beams, but it still looks pretty cool, and it's still a pretty cool effect how that looks even with the lights on like so. So that works out pretty good. Again, I just love how the faceplates change out. It will not simple magnet. We can take on that Zeta Beam plate, kind of slide to tuck it under the chin first like so, and then push back to attach to that magnet. And there you go in something like that. And that's dope, man. I love this so much. What a cool figure. Oh my god. Oh, let's go, man. Yep, you're getting me all over again. I'm just, every time I get one of these figures, man, it's like, you know, Christmas Day all over again. So anyways, so we do got some interchangeable hands. We do get a pair of closed-fisted hands. Those are the ones that come packaged in the box. All look really nice. We do get some open palm hands for more stylized posing and whatnot. And just looking menacing. Again, dig those, the sculpt, the paint, the detail on those, just incredible. Then we do get one gripping hand for his left side, and that's more for gripping his mother box accessory, which works out great. Now, what's really cool, the mother box itself is actually held on back here on the back of the belt by a little magnet. Now, this right here is die-cast metal, this whole belt. So I'm thinking, could be wrong, that the magnet itself is embedded in this little mother box accessory right here. And even this has a ton of really cool detail, like so. Let me get my camera to focus right there. And you can see the little Omega symbol with all those patterns and circuitry and things like that. All look really cool. I like that a ton. And again, he can hold that in this little gripping hand right here. So just slide that on like so, and get my camera to focus, and bam, now you have something like that, which works out great. And I just love the fact that they were able to store it with a magnet just like that on the back of the belt, and that's not going anywhere. So lots of good stuff going on with this figure, man. I am so impressed with what Mezco has done with this piece. Again, just truly badass. Alright, so now let's take a look at the articulation, because I think this is the one area where this figure really lacks and has really kind of dropped the ball. Not a whole ton, but quite a bit in my opinion. So the head and the neck are kind of like on a ball joint and whatnot, more so the head itself. So that rolls around like so, does turn left and right. Can look up pretty far, which works out nice. Can look pretty down good with that neck joint going down a little bit. You will see some gappage from the back and whatnot, but that doesn't bother me at all. So it looks down pretty far and pivot side to side. Arms can go all the way up and full 360. They will kind of push out a bit because of this metal shoulder pad right here, but you still can do full 360. Arms can go all the way out like so. We got a single bend at the elbow that only bends that much. Now his whole skin, like his arms and his legs, and I'm not sure, maybe the faceplates too, I'm not sure. Those are all done in that polystone material. And I know some people were worried about how fragile that material is. Will it crack? Will it break? Will it chip? You know, I don't know. And I'm kind of, that might be the reason for the hindrance of the articulation, just because the materials of this figure are made in a certain way. I don't know, I'm kind of just guessing here. So it does lack, I wish you could do at least a 90-degree bend. That's not a lot, so that's a little disappointing, but you can still kind of get him with that pose with like his arms behind his back, kind of that thing where he normally does, which he's really known for. So you can still at least do that, but nothing too crazy dynamic. He also rotates at the wrists as well as hinge at the wrists, and I do love these thick big ball pegs like that, which work out nice. I will note to just be careful when putting these hands on. I noticed they were coming out pretty easily, and it's just me, I didn't push them in enough, so you kind of almost have to pop them in there, and you'll kind of hear a little snap or a little pop once you get them in there, and you'll know they're in there more securely. So that works out pretty good. I'm gonna take this mother box off. There is a ball joint in here, which is nuts. So he does roll around really, really nice. Does rotate, pivot side to side, crunches back and forth a little bit. I'm pretty sure the whole upper torso is polystone too, so that works out nice. We lift up his skirt here. You can see his little Darkseid panties, which is pretty funny. So he kicks forward and up that much, which is decent. Back about that far, which is okay. Can do the splits fairly good, considering he's such a bulky figure. Does rotate in that upper thigh. We do get a single bend at the knee. That bends okay, just below 90 degrees, I would think. But also does rotate at the boot, just like that. It also rotates at the ankle. Ankles go up and down, and a slight ankle rocker. So overall, I think that's where the biggest issue lies with this entire figure. And some people, that could be, you know, a deal closer. That's exactly why you won't like him, because he's not super articulated. But for me, I just think he's massive. I think he's impressive. He's beautifully done. His materials, and when you really hold him in your hands and play around with him, you can truly appreciate the effort and the beauty and the sculpturemanship. I don't know how to say that word, but you know what I mean. The artistry that it took to put this figure together, and he's just so worth it, in my opinion. Again, I'm glad to get another bad guy, especially one of the biggest, baddest bad guys there is. I think he's so awesome, and I think he is definitely a must-get. So for a quick size comparison, here he is standing next to a Marvel Legends Deadpool figure, as well as a DCUC Batman figure. And for your Mezco comparison, here he is standing next to the 112 Collective Classic Superman and Thor Ragnarok Incredible Hulk figures. And just for fun, here he is standing next to a little Lego Bat Bomb. So there it is, guys, my review of the Mezco 112 Collective Darkseid. Now overall, this is one nasty and impressive action figure that we received from Mezco. He has great sculpt, great paint. I love his soft goods and all his accessories and interchangeable parts. But where he really shines, in my opinion, is his materials. All that polystone, all that die-cast metal, and those LED features are just insane, that all make up one massive and awesome Darkseid action figure. Now, the price point is really, really high, which I totally understand and might push people away from this piece. But if you can look past that and can afford it, I think you would absolutely love this guy. He is definitely one of the coolest and most impressive figures that we've seen from the 112 line. He's truly awesome, and I think he is definitely a must-get. So I give him a rating of 4.5 bat bombs out of 5. And if you're on Facebook, head over to my group, the Mezco 112 Collective Collectors, for all kinds of Mezco goodness. So please comment, like, and subscribe. Stay nerdy, my friends. Peace.